Can you tell me some things about yourself, Kevin?
Yeah, sure. So as you
So, as
know,
you know,
I've been
I
helping Dr. Hunter record, edit a lot of these videos, but I I grew up in Verdon Hills, Illinois, Chicago suburb. I first wanted I first went to Marquette University in Milwaukee to pursue assistant. So that's basically medical field stuff. And while I was there, I realized that I had no interest in that whatsoever, but I enjoyed teaching chemistry to a lot of my fellow classmates. So I transferred over to Illinois State this past semester, the spring 2020 semester, and now I am a chemistry education major. And for the upcoming fall 2020 semester, I'll be a junior.
right. So yeah, so you're halfway through, basically halfway through your degree now, right? So when I've talked to other people who are already in their careers, I've asked them, "Hey, tell us about some things that you use in general chemistry in your career already." And maybe that's painfully obvious if you're planning on thinking about being a teacher of chemistry. But tell me some of the things that you have used in your post Gen Chem classes that you learned in general chemistry.
Yeah, so basically, I'm in organic chemistry right now, and we use a lot of the general chemistry basics. There are a lot of acid and base reactions, which isn't the scope of Chem 140, but it's the next course, Chem 141. But we also use pH, we also use bonding, covalent bonding, Lewis structures, and of course we still use a periodic table, but we kind of use them in a way so we can understand more advanced topics like melting points, boiling points. We still use intermolecular forces, and so chemistry is really just kind of stacking knowledge. It's a cumulative discipline that, although you don't need to know the exact every exact topic to its finest detail, you should at least still understand it to some degree. And this is probably most prevalent for chemistry majors and people who want to go into like the medical or nursing fields.
So, what is it about being a chemistry teacher that you actually enjoy doing, or why do you want to be a chemistry teacher?
So I think I've certainly stuck around with chemistry the longest. I took a regular chemistry course in high school. I took AP chemistry in high school as well. But then, because I was on that pre physician assistant track in my other college, to actually raise your GPA for medical schools and PA schools of that sort, they actually recommend retaking general chemistry in college, because if I already understand the content, then it should raise your GPA, assuming that you understood the content. And so it did raise my GPA, but I think chemistry is just the scientific discipline that I enjoyed the most. Biology, I think sometimes can be all over the place. I'm I like biochemistry, like I think that's interesting, but I have no interest at all for ecology, for animal, wildlife, plant, wildlife. And then I think physics sometimes is just a little too math heavy for me. So I felt like chemistry, I felt right at home with chemistry. And
So,
so,
so it's a good match with whatever your personal interests are.
yeah. And then for the education aspect, I think just I kind of liked being in control, because I think there and I've actually discussed this with a lot of other students at ISU, that sometimes students get a bad rep for chemistry because they don't have a good teacher, or they just don't have a good experience with chemistry overall. And I think chemistry can be fun, or at least not as awful as some students put it. And so I think just being a, an educator that doesn't detract students from at least being interested in chemistry or STEM fields in that matter is kind of important.
Right. Right. Yeah. Hopefully, both you and I are going to not turn off too many people to chemistry. Cool. So, do you think your long-term plan is to stay in Illinois? Do you have any thoughts about that?
Yeah, I think for now I would probably stay in Illinois just because it's what I'm used to, right? Because I think because Milwaukee, Wisconsin, I thought that was okay, but honestly, I feel pretty comfortable being here in Illinois, even if Illinois State is still technically a longer drive away than it was from my other college.
Mhm.
It just, I mean, it's just where I've grown up, but I think I haven't put too much thought or consideration, nor have I researched too much of this, but other states I would probably look into at least, just because unfortunately it's the prospect that a lot of high school teachers and teachers in Illinois aren't treated the best. Or I learned in my teaching class actually that all the US states are rated, all their teaching profess all the teachers and like their careers are rated, and like Illinois is one of the worst ones in all of the US.
Really? Huh. That's interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting.
it's kind
Because
of
the
scary.
yeah, the things that we're working on with GFO say that teachers rate their lives very highly, right?
Maybe outside of Illinois, I
Well,
guess.
I don't know. I think that's one of the myths that we're working hard on get the facts out to deal with is the myth that teachers actually don't like their lives. Teachers are actually very excited about the quality of their lives. Remember that data showed that only physicians rate their lives better than teachers?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So what advice do you have for uh, students in Gen Chem getting themselves going? I asked this question to everybody else. What's your general piece of advice that you've got for people?
Um, I think also being a student as well, well, I know everyone else has been a student, but it's kind of different, especially with remote learning and how so much of our courses and content have moved online. It's so easy to get distracted, and it's so easy to procrastinate and try to do the homework assignment an hour or 30 minutes before the due date is. And so honestly, just having a schedule, maybe doing 30 minutes or an hour of work each day, making sure you plan due dates, exam times and dates accordingly, and when you need help, being able to accept that you need help, that you don't understand this content, and that you need to ask others and work with others is all the advice I can really give for this course, and really for college and life, because it high school is pretty easy, to be honest. So going into college, you need to place more responsibility onto yourself and less so on your professors and teachers telling you what to do.
So what I hear you saying is that the um, online and at home, you have a lot more opportunity to get distracted. And so it's even more important to organize, to get started early, to not wait until, not let things ride until the last minute.
Yeah, and I think another detail about online courses is that you can look up the answers and you can just ask and get answers online so easily. But when it comes to exam time, to projects and that stuff, or future courses for that matter, if you're pursuing chemistry further on, you still need to understand and learn the material. So sometimes going the easy route is quick and simple for the short term, but for the long term, it's going to hurt you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's certainly true. Almost everything in life, whatever the effort is that you put in, that's what you get out. And if you don't put any effort in, you're not going to get anything out of it, right? That's not. It's there. Occasionally, things come a little more easily than they should, but yeah, people can go to Chegg, right? You can Google almost anything, almost every question in this course. You can Google an answer to and figure it out and not learn a thing. And as a result, you will have not learned a thing. And so, yeah, thanks. Thank you for that, Kevin. Those are excellent ideas for us to incorporate. I probably should take some of those to heart myself.
I mean,
Okay.
I think all of us need to,
Yep.
I can be on my high pedestal over here saying all these things, but I still kind of sometimes take a little shortcut or, so you just try to do these things. This is going to be weird and difficult at first, but you just have to try.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome, Kevin. Thank you. I appreciate you letting me ask you these questions, and we'll craft it into a video and for our students as well. So thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. Talk to you later then.
Okay. Talk to you later.